Merch alert.
That's right, you heard her. We have merch now. If you're looking for a mug, a hoodie, a shirt, a blanket, we're your people. Be sure to check out our exclusive I Was a Bravo Fan Before Scandal tees. They will be perfect to wear while watching the VPR reunion.
Check out the link in the description of the podcast or our Instagram bio. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Hello. Look at your screens right now. If you're on YouTube, look at your screen right now. If you are on Spotify and actually listen, because I have with me here today Baron Nicole Cloud.
Yes, I am back, guys. I had to take some time away because I had some things come up at the clinic. You know how that is, guys.
Absolutely.
Long days of work, long weeks of work.
And here at Bravo, We're Black, we love Baron Nicole Cloud because Baron is always going to give it to us straight. Unlike sometimes Aaron, they like to play a little jokey joke.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Aaron is a shitty. Aaron is horrible sometimes. Yeah, don't really like the guy actually. But
welcome back to the freaking pod. I know so many people are so excited to hear your voice again. It just feels like when it rains, it pours. It's like first I had all these weeks off, then you had all these weeks off, and it's just been so stressful. But brighter days are ahead. I have nothing but faith that that is the truth, and I can't focus on anything but that, and the fact that you are here with me today and that we have two very good shows to talk about that are honestly in the same vein of one another. Welcome back. Let's get straight into it, you guys.
Damn, you don't even want to do, we're not even doing Black Excellence. I guess we are the Black Excellence.
We are. To get us to in the same pot in the same Zoom session together at the same time has honestly been a
difficult thing.
Okay, and we deserve it. We are the Black Excellence.
Can I just say one thing? She is not a Mormon. They are tainting. They are dipping into sexual sided stuff.
What is your okay? Let's just give this show Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It is on Hulu.
It's on Hulu, guys. And this show is 8 episodes. Each episode is 45 minutes. So it's not a whole hour. So it doesn't feel like a lot. The episodes go by pretty fast.
The thing is that when you first start watching it, you kind of want it to go by pretty fast and you're rolling your eyes and you're like, whatever. Mm-hmm. But as soon, I wouldn't even say the second episode, as soon as the first episode starts wrapping up, that last 15 minutes, you're like, I actually need 14 more seasons of this immediately. I hope that they are recording right now because of what the fuck is going on between the sheets
and in my home. That's all I'm going to say. I will say, starting off, okay, on the first episode, I definitely felt like I love the story, like the story that you were telling me about Taylor specifically. Love the story. Love the scandal. Love the mess. It was Taylor that I didn't really care for necessarily. Because I'm like, I think the first episode was just like her explaining what happened, and then you see that she's spilling the beans and talking all this shit, and it's like, I feel like had you had kept your mouth closed, none of this stuff would have came out. But now that it's out, it's like you're shocked at the criticism that you're getting. You did a whole, wasn't that on TikTok?
TikTok Live, yeah.
TikTok Live, you did a whole TikTok Live on swingers and all this stuff going on in the Mormon community, and you were like, yeah, I was a part of it, and you just told your story. And while it was brave, I'm like, okay, stand on business. Why are you like why is everybody so shocked? And I think the thing that really caught my attention about her was actually her mom, because I love a good mom and daughter dynamic, especially when her mom is like, "You are pissing me the hell off."
And she's like, "That's stupid. You're stupid."
And I did feel like it was stupid. And I
Like she was
felt,
straight. She said everything that I wanted to say
yeah,
in just one fell swoop, and she received it because Taylor's like, "My mom's a straight shooter. She's going to tell me what it is,"
and she was.
and she absolutely did.
She absolutely was. So for that, I did like her mom, and just seeing how this interrupted the mom talk and how it changed its dynamic. I really thought that it was, I know, we're that merch. I know the fuck that's right. We're that merch.
Listen, bravo, we're black.
We're black.
You can get that at the link below under merch.
Mhm.
Okay. And thank you to, oh my God, our people who have bought the t-shirts. You guys look so fucking sexy. Like, I know a lot of people bought the Bravo We're Black logo, that one, and then the Scandival one, and then Team Daddy hat. So, like, shout out to anyone who has supported us and bought our merch. I just wanted to let y'all know that we do have our own merch and we are wearing our own merch. And I do sip out of that mug. I just forget to do it when we're recording. But everyday
It
life, I am
does.
in our t-shirts. Don't you
Because I
dare
literally
our
just had
fucking
mine on, what day was that? Last week when I was out and about.
it's just
Went
like
to the
so
doctor's office and all in a Bravo We're Black t-shirt.
it's just
So,
like so crazy because I'm like, I'm wearing it everywhere but where I need to be wearing it,
yeah,
which is on the actual podcast. So today, I want y'all to know I'm repping that Bravo. Look how sexy that logo is. Beyonce
Lauderdale
herself. Bravo,
Lauderdale.
we're black. Bravo, we're black. Bravo, we're
I
black.
love
But
that.
okay, so yeah, so like you were saying, her mom was a straight shooter, told her that she's doing stupid shit. The thing is, I will say about Taylor though, I started off saying, I'm going to hate this bitch.
Same.
But by the end of the show, I'm like, she
My
literally has the most growth. She's
thank
literally
you.
straight up. She's so honest. She's so real. I don't find anyone on this cast at all relatable. But when they were in Vegas and her dude was cutting up, and then the girl was like, "Aren't you just miserable?" And she goes, "Yeah." I was like, "That's a real bitch right there."
She
Like, I'm
is.
sorry.
It,
Real.
it
Episode
was,
one was she gave us a show.
she
She
did.
showed us exactly why there is no show without her.
She
Like
did.
Whitney thinks she's the one who, just because she's, makes all that fucking drama and acts a damn fool and has that fuck ass bob, she thinks that she's the one who makes the world spins. But this is Taylor's show. They waited an entire, what, damn near year till this bitch not only got out of the jail, but had a whole nother baby and was with the same dude she got locked up for to continue filming this show. So while I totally agree that on episode one at the beginning, I was like, I am not going to like this girl. She gave us a show. I
She
know the
did.
name Taylor Frankie Paul.
I do. I do. And I like, we have the same exact opinion, because when I first seen her, like even that first episode, I'm like, I just don't trust her. Like, it's something dark about her. I just feel like she would kill your grandma and then call the police on you and be like, you just killed your grandma.
And you'll
And it,
question if you did it.
yeah, and question if you did it. And like, they would believe her and then you would go to jail and that's it. But it's like, and then just seeing how she tried to do Dakota, I was like, this girl is crazy. Like, you just did all this stuff, and she's like, he's under the influence too. He's drunk too. And they're like, your ass is actually the one that's drunk, ma'am. But I did start off by saying, like, I don't know, I thought I wasn't gonna like her. I actually thought that I was gonna like Whitney. Because
Me too.
When Whitney came into town, I liked the idea that, number one, she was coming back from Hawaii. I liked the idea that she had this big secret that she did not tell anybody. She denied it. I love that. I also want to know, like, for Whitney, did you ever hear like a notification go off and it's like, "Drr,
Can you do the sound one more time?
drr."
Oh, not the ding.
No, not ding. That's like a regular message.
Mhm.
Drr.
Not the tender.
No, no, like, drr.
Mm. That's a very
Like a
specific one.
robot's taking a shit, like,
Mm.
that type of thing. Yeah, because I just feel like it's more to that story.
We'll get into that. Before we even get into it, we have to tell the people who are not familiar with what this show is about,
Mhm.
what it's about, and how they got there. So basically, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives involves a group of women who are known as MomTok. They are all Mormons, they are all mothers, and for the most part, they are all married. Taylor is the main one. She's the one who started MomTok. What you need to know is that she was exiled from her friend group because they started quote unquote soft swinging. It wasn't no soft swinging, they were swinging, period. Um, but the problem is that I went in there thinking, okay, so are we going to see the people who exiled her? Are we going to see anyone who she was swinging with or anything? None of the girls on the show are the people that she was swinging with. But what happened was before this show started, she went on TikTok Live, told all her business because of a night that went entirely too far. She ended up hooking up with her best friend's husband, or one of her friend's husbands, and then her best friend's husband told her that he had feelings for her, and it just became a whole mess. And then one of the girls that she told went on Reddit, spilled it because they were already, a MomTok is basically a group of moms. They do dances, they meet up, they rent Airbnbs to do content. So one of the girls from MomTok went to Reddit, told the story. They were already popular at that point, had millions of followers or whatever. And she was like, so since someone has already told the story of how I cheated on my husband, I'm going to tell you guys that it wasn't just me. It wasn't all me, doing everything. I'm going to tell you that this was something that was agreed upon. So, yes, it's wrong because I stepped out of the lines of what we kind of established, but it's not wrong because we all established that we were going to be swingers. So, that is what happened at that time. Separately, there are some girls that were in MomTok that did not know about the swinging, that did not go to these swinging parties. That is who we are meeting on the show. There is one girl named Whitney who she left to Hawaii. We're not really sure why she went to Hawaii, but when she comes back, we find out why. The names of basically the players are, because I couldn't tell them apart until
Me neither.
the middle of the Vegas episode. I was like, McKaylee, Haley, Bailey, Rayleigh. Like I was
They
like, who
all
is
go to the
who?
same hair place.
They
It's
all
like
of the same hair play because they're all the same skin tone. They all the same
they dress the same.
everything. Even the black one, who I was like, what?
I've
So it's Whitney, it's Taylor, Michaela, it's Jen. Jen, by the way, I will say she is married to someone who claims to be Ben Affleck's cousin. And I'm hearing that he might not actually be Ben Affleck's cousin. So keep that in mind. Her name is Jennifer Affleck. It's Macy. It's Jessie. Shout out to Jessie because she liked our memes. It's Demi, which
I like
Demi
Demi.
actually ended up being my favorite. I
Mhm.
thought it was going to be Whitney, but then Demi did her damn
Yeah.
thing. Macy, and then the black one is Layla.
I like Layla.
She's cute.
I feel like
She's
we
just
didn't get
there.
enough.
Yeah, like
It was only so
she's there
much.
as for diversity.
Mhm.
So they're all except Layla and Taylor, they are pretty much all married. Um, Taylor is dating a guy. His name is Dakota. She met Dakota during the time that she was exiled from her group of friends. He is the sketchiest man you ever did see.
Do you think he's attractive?
Would I date him and make him my baby daddy? No. But
yeah.
Anyways, so
yeah.
she's
yeah.
it's just like I can understand why she was ignoring some of the red flags.
Yeah, because he gives me like Hallmark movie, like kind of like that sketchy guy that you're not supposed to like. And then you end up liking him, and he's actually the
He's
brother of
just
the person
like
that you're really supposed to like.
he's like whatever that song Teenage Dirtbag, it was written about him. Like
Okay.
he's I'm sorry, he's hot. Like, just get, that's just what I'm trying to say is I get it, Taylor. I really do. But there's no way I would have had a baby with this man. Like, there's no fucking way. So Taylor met Dakota when she was going through that hard time. They fell in love. There's this period of time before they made things official that apparently it's hard to say, right? Because that's what they argue about, and that's the core of their problems. Is that there was a period of time before they made things official that he apparently not just fucked another girl, but like she. This is how she frames it. She's like, "You fucked another girl, fucked me for the whole week, and then fucked another girl again." Like
Yeah,
that
I was like,
Sunday.
oh.
I'm like, that's very specific. It's just like the most unedited, unhinged, un-PR trained show. Like this is real. Like what's fucking happening? It gives you like when Teen Mom had first started, and we
Yes.
all have like things that are going around. So that's where we start the show at. Taylor is just telling us what happened, catching us up on things, and then she is explaining to us that Whitney had moved to Hawaii, but for some reason Whitney is moving back. And also, like at the end of almost at the end of the show, we find out that she is basically pregnant, and she unfortunately, trigger warning, she has a miscarriage, and she is partying with not even partying, she partied by herself. Then her and Dakota got into a fight, and all you see is body cam footage, and she is
She is, yeah.
explaining what happened, talking about how she peed on herself. The police report says that her daughter was like in the room and her daughter got hit by a chair, possibly. And they took her to jail, allegedly. Okay. And that's how the episode fucking ends. This bitch goes to fucking
Yeah.
jail.
And at that point, Whitney's like, you see Whitney, that's the one time that you really see Whitney. And she's like, bitch, it's go time. And then she comes and she calls it like a town hall. And she's like, this bitch has got to get out. Like she has domestic violence charge. She's doing swinger shit. Like she's doing too much. Like it's too much. And then she tries to become the queen bee of the group. But that's when I started to realize that there was something off about Whitney. Because at first I kind of liked her. I'm like, okay, she minds her business. She doesn't want her secret to be exposed. Yeah. Yeah, now, well, now I realize she didn't. But this was my first opinion of her. When we're seeing her, she's not in any drama. She hasn't really interacted with any of the ladies. So you're like, okay, she has a secret. She wants to tell her friends, but she's embarrassed. And like I said, I do think there's more to her story. But immediately, like afterwards, after she reveals the truth and what really happened, I think she was expecting like everybody to rally around her. Unfortunately, like right after her story, Taylor's like, "Well, I just had a miscarriage," and she took the attention off of She took the attention off of what's her name? Damn, I
Whitney.
already forgot.
Whitney,
She
yeah.
took the attention off of Whitney's story. So that's like the number one thing that I seen. When I seen
That's
her
what sent
face,
her into a complete
that's where it
tailspin.
all really started. At that moment right there, she was like, I don't like this bitch. Because when it comes to me, I need people to feel sorry for me. And we see that literally throughout the whole show. It's like she wants people to chase after her and beg for her friendship when it's like, girl, what is really special about being your friend? Because every time you get around someone, it's like you use them until they no longer want to play your game and then you're done with them.
Or you purposely humiliate them.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's like,
let's.
are you my friend or
Or
not?
are you done?
She is literally, and this is what I was saying. I'm like, do you see like similarities between her and Tamra Judge? It's like Taylor is
Yes.
Shannon and Whitney is Tamra.
I wouldn't quite.
Like this
Kinda,
bitch.
yeah.
Because I'm like, what are you hiding?
Yeah, the
And
only difference is
find
that Taylor
out.
can defend herself. So it's like it's less cringe because I'm like, okay, this is somebody that can clearly stand 10 toes down when needed. Like she doesn't need all these other girls. Shannon needs a friend. Taylor does not.
Yeah, you're right.
But Whitney, it's like, let's really talk about the moment where she brought out the Fruity Pebbles.
That's what we're here for. Thank you. We're finally here at the Fruity Pebble conversation because it happens quite early on. Demi has a Galentine's Day party, which, by the way, she's had a divorce and she has been remarried. She's married to a guy who's 46. So he's about 17 years older than her. The guy that she's married to is actually Andy Harrington's baby daddy from Salt Lake City.
Demi Moore.
Are you happy? You got your rocks off?
I did. That was very important to me. But why Angie Harrington?
It had Bravo always has
I
a
know,
connection
you
to
know, it is. It to
everything.
be fair, it's a small, like Salt Lake
Yeah,
City, like
it's
they say, is a
small.
small
And the
town.
Mormon community. So it's like it
Yeah,
makes you eat down even more.
yeah. So it's like I can kind of see. I figured there was going to be at least one connection, but I'm just like upset that it's Angie Harrington. Like I could have dealt with Heather. I could have dealt with like Angie K. Like he was a part of like the Greek mafia. I would have been okay with that. But it's like Angie Harrington, I'm like, oh, fake Instagram pages.
Well, okay, so Demi has a Galentine's Day party and she confided in Whitney, unfortunately, which is the last thing that anyone should ever do. That her and her husband, mind you, they're still Mormon, even though that I'm trying to not offend an entire religion when I
Community.
talk about this. Because there are so many things that are confusing.
Me too. Cause my notes, I have like a lot of things that I've literally crossed out. And I'm like, I can't say that. But maybe I can kind of say it. But like
I
I
want to
just
say that there is absolutely no offense. And I also want to say that I know that this show and these people don't
do not
represent an
reflect.
entire
Yes.
religion, and I
Mhm.
respect your religion. Now we're going to do but with that being said.
What are the rules and what are not the rules? That's what I really want to know. Because gambling isn't okay, but going to the strip club is okay. And that's what I don't really understand because then I looked it up in like Mormon church. They're like, you don't even go to spaces like that because it's like it leads to temptation, it leads to promiscuity, like it leads to all this stuff. But then it's like, you're at a Magic Mike show.
But then she left the Magic Mike. Oh well, that's later on. But that whole
Yeah.
thing really pissed me off. It's also like you're not supposed to be gambling either. And I gave you $2,500 of my TikTok money only for you to show your ass, and I had to leave the hotel at 2 a.m. so we could argue all night, and you call me a bad mother. Nigga, you
This
would
was about
never,
him gambling? Because I
ever,
was like, oh, he was saying that
ever.
boy spending their money on the thing, trying to win some money. But I
Okay, so the Fruity Pebbles thing. So that's where we were. She told Whitney about it, and a lot of things are, especially regarding sex, could be considered a no-no in the Mormon community. So she tells her what her and her husband did, and Whitney not only like alludes to it, but she straight up is on camera and she demonstrates what Demi told her about what they did, and she's like standing over her friend, and she's like, "Oh, this is what happened," but she doesn't actually say what it is. So then she brings, but it has to do with Fruity Pebbles. So then she brings a present of Fruity Pebbles to the group and gifts it to her, and Demi is like, "Bitch, like, okay, like I literally told you this in
because it's not,
confidence."
yeah, it's not an inside joke because clearly you know that the other ladies are gonna be like, well, what the fuck is this about? It's
You're
like
doing it on
me
purpose.
gifting you like
A public sub,
a public sub. Whoa, that's a
and
little
no
bit
one understands like
because it's
why.
not nothing to really understand, but it's like a brick, a brick outside or something like that. Or maybe some Astroglide. Like, let's just be real about it. And then it's like, whoa, what is this about?
You
Like,
know that people are going to ask about it, and
yeah.
you're literally giggling about it. And so, Demi is kind of ticked off because it was like, I thought that you were my homegirl and I could confide in you about these things. And then you choose, like, we're filming, I have all these girls over. You bring me Fruity Pebbles, and I can't even explain why you brought me Fruity Pebbles. Within the religion, certain things are like frowned upon, and we're already doing this show. We are already sinners. Like, we're already out there. I don't need you to bring that up. So Demi gets ticked off, but she doesn't even tell Whitney that she's ticked off. And then Whitney is like, now I'm mad because you're mad. And
And
I'm
that
like, you
pissed
fucking
me
cunt.
off. You're being a bitch because literally she does that with every situation. Like, you know, you are in the wrong, you get called out, and as soon as you get called out, then you want to be like, okay, we don't have to talk about it. Like, you don't have to be my friend. And I hate people like that because you dumb bitch. I don't want to be your friend. Like, you're being weird. You're being so weird. And then you get everybody to gather around you and try to get them to feel sorry for you. You're like crying in a closet, which was also very strange. And then it's like, I love how Demi was like, bitch, I'm gonna get my ass up and I'm gonna go to the closet because she's not gonna play with
Let
me.
me tell you about yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
they go on like a group trip, and it just
Cause
good.
why are you acting like that? And why are you trying to make it seem like Demi is just this bad person when you've literally been talking about people all the time? And then it's like her whole thing was she didn't want to be friends with Taylor. Okay, so like tell her that. But don't leave her wondering. And then it's like be
But
like,
she
oh well,
tried to
I didn't
act like
care enough. Yeah.
everyone else had a problem with Taylor, and like she's just the messenger.
And then what really pissed me off about that situation is when Taylor tries to like address it and make amends with her, she's like, I don't really care where it is. Like I want it to stay how it is. And it's like, you are just you are just one of those people. Like like I don't like her. That's what it was. That's what did it for me. Because there was no way if you had a problem with this girl, you should be able to sit down and tell her what your problem is with her. But in reality, it's like I don't even think she knows what her problem is with Taylor.
Her real problem is that Taylor is not being shunned enough for her to the point where the group is turning their back and saying that you're not involved in these things. The group is hanging out with Taylor because Taylor is like, she's okay to hang out with. She's trying to be understanding. She knows that she's pregnant by this piece of shit addict. And like, she's just not trying to start any problems. She's trying to be understanding. She's trying to not start any more shit. She understands that like she's being shunned by the community, but she is not, she's not the person that she was when she made that messy ass TikTok live. She's been through some shit. She went to jail. She is humbled. She's trying to figure out what she's gonna do with fucking Dakota and what and she's gonna get married or not. So the fact that Taylor is a changed person and everyone there kind of accepts that and kind of is fucking with her gets under Whitney's skin because she feels like, well, not only do I have a husband that was on Tinder, but now I can't be the center of MomTok.
Correct. And I was actually going to go back to that point earlier. It all started like with that whole thing where she felt like her story was being overshadowed by Taylor's miscarriage and Taylor's situation. And she did not like that. And it's like everybody can get the same amount of attention. It's like when your storyline is good, it's good. And if you can sit in your house and make cookies with this man who cheated on you and who was talking to multiple people, then you can forget Taylor.
Not only that, your husband was on Tinder. No wonder you went to Hawaii.
Send a nudes.
It doesn't make any sense.
And you can't send nudes on Tinder, by the way. So my thing is, it had to be him also messaging people from other outlets. It was not just Tinder.
Because he said that he also had a porn addiction, which is also something very especially to be one of the more, because we have like the sinners versus like the saints. So in the group, there are people that are more modern Mormons or whatever. And then there are people who are more traditional, like, you know, the gins and stuff like that. So it's like, it's kind of weird because you made the effort so much so to hide your husband's porn addiction and the fact that he was on Tinder, but you are mad that we're not touching on it. Because had Taylor not been there and that been the main storyline, I can guarantee you we would have, one, found out more, and two, she would have gotten upset and been like, oh, everyone is picking on me. Everyone is picking apart my marriage. Everyone, it's something that we're trying to move past, something that we are already moving past, and we're going to have another kid. So let's stop talking about it. So you should actually be grateful that the storyline shifted to whatever Taylor had going on or whatever, you know, Demi had going on, because you really don't want to dig deep into that, girl. Because you didn't even want to tell us about the Tinder thing because you were lying about it in the first fucking place.
Hello. So that's where things went left for me with Whitney. Honestly, and I did not feel bad for her at all. I just think she's a horrible friend. I think she's a horrible person. I do. I really do. And I see through it. And it's crazy how things change, because at first I really thought that Taylor was the horrible person. And Taylor definitely was. Like, I want to make that clear. But the difference is she learned, I felt, from her mistakes, and she tried to shift gears and do a bit better. She tried to right her wrongs, kind of.
In her own way, like, instead of shifting blame on everyone else, which is kind of where I felt like she started. She's like, well, yeah, I'm wrong, but guess what? All these people did X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But when she came back, she's been humbled. She's been through some things.
But she has her own shit going on.
She has her own shit going on.
And even if she is a shitty person still, we're not really seeing that. We're seeing you. We're seeing you go behind the scenes and talk about all these people and pretend like you're their friend. And then it's like you want to call out other people for doing the same thing. And it's like, it's really weird. And I don't like how she flipped that on that girl, knowing that you shared an intimate secret. And you know that's going to be frowned upon once people see this. Like, why would you do something like that? And you're trying to minimize it. And I hate when people hurt someone's feelings and then they try to minimize what happened. It's like, it's not necessarily about how you feel or what your intent was. That's great. But, you know, you still offended someone and you still hurt their feelings. So I was just expecting her to apologize in that moment.
And not only did you not just apologize, you made it to where you got mad.
Right.
And then on top of that, as we're going to, the trip and her hiding in the closet, and halfway through the season, she removes herself from the group chat, gets mad that no one checked on her and asked her why she removed herself from the group chat.
Because no one cares.
And then said that she didn't want anyone to check on her because she didn't want to be a part of it. Are you fucking kidding me?
She's weird. I'm telling you,
go buy the farm and live on it.
And no one cared. Literally, she decided to show up that last episode because she didn't want people to forget who the fuck she was, because I didn't even remember.
We were having a ball.
Was she even on the show?
I forgot about her.
So she comes back and she's like, I'm here, but I had to do what I had to do. And it's like, who asked? Who asked why you were missing? It's like, nobody was like, the only person that it was, what's her name? She was like, oh, I'm surprised you're here. It was just one person.
It was like Michaela.
Yeah, it was just like one person. And she's like, oh, I had to like isolate myself and do what was best for me. And I'm just like, girl.
What I loved was that during the end, when they were like, okay, well, if she doesn't come, or she doesn't,
we're unfollowing her.
We're unfollowing her ass at the same time. And I'm like, this is the kind of shit
I would have still unfollowed her
that I'm talking about.
Even if she showed up.
I would unfollow her while she was there.
Yeah.
Like in her face.
Because it's like, since you want to unfollow and leave shit.
It's like, I'm so glad that you're here because I won't be able to see you online because guess what? I just unfollowed your fuck ass.
Another thing I wanted to mention was, what's that place where they got the soda drinks from?
Jackson's.
Was that Jackson's? Or was it Spritz? I think it was called like Spritz or some shit.
I don't remember the names of places. I just know they have a soda shop.
I know that I want to go there.
But what you can do is go to Jackson's because that's a soda shop. And like, okay, that's the other thing. Obviously, the big swig. People are like, you can drink a bunch of soda, but you can't drink coffee or tea.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And I mean, they go in, like, they sit in that bitch for an hour, like a good hour or two.
Layla, the black girl, okay, her deal is that she converted to Mormonism. She got married when she was young. And she got divorced. And they like go to Vegas for her birthday / a divorce party. And they kind of like are a big sister to her because she is one of the younger ones. And I'm glad that she got divorced when she did, because who knows
what get with Lindsay Lohan, daddy.
Why do you have to say these things? Why?
Because I want to see it.
Share with the class. Why should you get with Lindsay Lohan?
I want to see it. I just want Nene to be like, that's that girl that's with Lindsay Lohan, daddy.
Just want to hear it again for good old time's sake. So basically they go to Vegas for her birthday, but Layla, she says that 6 days out of the 7 days in a week, she gets a 44-ounce soda. I would pass away.
Me personally, I don't blame her. I'm all for it. Like, that shit, I related.
I would.
I'm like, have you ever had a motherfucking big gulp?
Lisa Barlow literally showed up to our fucking podcast with a big gulp. And now I understand her so much more because in LGS, you're allowed. You're allowed. Yeah, that's like your cheat. Like, you're allowed to have soda. So it made me understand Queen Lisa Barlow even more. Her and her Diet Cokes, because they don't play about their soda. I wanted to write down their soda orders so I could go to Jackson's, because that's an ice cream parlor, which also has custom sodas. And I want to try it because we do have a place down here where we can do it.
Because it's nothing like a strong Coke. It's nothing like a strong
McDonald's Sprite.
A McDonald's Sprite. Or the AMC movie theater.
Oh, yeah, when you can.
Oh my God, when you can, yeah. Like, I've never had a vanilla Sprite, like a peach Sprite. Like, I've literally been around the world. An apple Sprite. Yeah. It's like, tell me who's had that. You haven't.
What would be your soda order?
Mine would probably be like a Coke, vanilla ice cream, mixed with cream soda. Like if I could try anything, I think that's what it would be.
You can literally get that at, like the Baskin Robbins slash Dunkin' Donuts, babe. Like
I
you can
think
get
it would
that.
be simple
That's
though because I
so
like for my
simple.
soda to stay intact and stay like strong because that's the goal of the soda. You want to burp, you want to feel that sizzle, you want to like feel that shit in your chest. You don't want so much in the soda to where you don't really get that.
It's watered down.
Yeah, it's flat. Imagine it opening a flat ass soda.
I hate that
Who
so
wants to do that?
much.
I will throw a whole soda away if it's
Yeah.
flat. I don't care. I won't drink it.
Yeah.
There's nothing, I don't care. I could be dehydrated.
But would you be able to
Mm-mm.
ingest a big gulp of McDonald's Sprite 6 days out of 7 days a week? Are you able to do that?
If I could.
No, I'm saying, like, are
Like
you
if I
physically able
yeah.
to?
Well, no, not health wise. No, that's
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
what
I
I'm
couldn't do it.
saying.
But I would love to. Like if I had the if I knew nothing was gonna happen to me and it was just like fine, if it was just like water, I would go to McDonald's every day
Because
and
I
get
know
two
that,
large
like,
sprites.
one time I was like out of, like, I was on a staycation or I was out of town, and there was 3 days in a row that I had like a large, not specifically Sprite, but I had a large soda of that size, and it took me at least 2 weeks to like recompose because I felt like I was
Yeah,
decomposing. Like I felt like my whole inside was shutting down
that's
after
how it
three
is.
days.
Yeah,
So I
you gotta
don't
know.
know how, and it has nothing to do with just like age or anything because we have obviously people like Lisa Barlow who have that big gulp every single day. It's just like,
But like a
wow.
can of Coke, I can do that. Like a can of
Yeah, I
Coke
mean,
does
but I feel like
nothing.
that's anyone can do.
But
Like,
I can go through a case. Like I'm not even gonna tell y'all. Thanksgiving week of last year, it was ridiculous. Like I had to go get the rest of the Cokes and I took them to the trash can. Cause I'm like, this is crazy. Like, there's no way that within 2 days, a 24 can of Coke is almost gone.
24 can't,
I
now
don't want to
that
talk
was
about it.
just being greedy. That was just
Because
being
when they're in the
ridiculous.
fridge and like when they get really cold and you have a hot plate of food and you crack that bitch open, it's like I always get
Even when
done with
you
my
wake up, you're just like,
or no, the best one is right before bed. Like when you go to put on that bunny and you go to like lay down and find something to watch, and you be
watch
like, I want something cold and sweet, and you just
a little
crack it
treat.
open as soft as you can so nobody hears. And then you just sip on it and it's like you hear it and it's like Rice Krispies, it's like sizzling and shit.
You literally hear your like your own swallow, and you're like, damn, I'm big back.
Damn this. But it is the best thing. And I
It
always
is.
get done halfway throughout my food. So I'm like, damn, like, well, what am I gonna drink for the
Well, I'm
rest of
gonna
it?
be thirsty after. I mean, I'm not finished with the plate yet.
Yes. So that's how it starts. And then before you know it, you've had 4 Cokes today. Like you've had 4 cans of Coke today. And does that make sense? No. You're going to
And then
kill
you wake up the
yourself.
next day and you're like, wow, there's still more Cokes left.
And that's where the problem lied. So, in conclusion, I can't get the boxes of Coke. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I won't
You
do it to
need like the
myself.
new, they have these new like mini cans, the ones that give you in
I
the
tried
hospital.
it. And you know what? And those hit different because they're sweeter. And I don't necessarily like that. I feel like because they're smaller, they put a little bit more sugar in it. And I'm like, it's just not as satisfying as that, that brown
Only
like that.
the mini ones only hit 50,000 feet in the air, however long it was in the
Yeah,
airplane.
yeah.
I don't know if it's
When they give you
50,000
that little
feet.
plastic cup to pour it
Yeah.
in, that's the only time. But it's like when you're at home, I'm like, baby, this is real life, and I'm grown.
Now you're grown.
I am grown as hell. Like I pay bills. I can't even. No,
Get
no
me a
way.
damn Arizona can size Coke. Like, imagine that.
I don't want to
A
imagine it.
Modelo sized
I
Coke.
don't want to imagine it because I couldn't do it. I know that God looks after me, and I knew when I took those Cokes to the trash can, He was like, "It's for the best."
He was like guiding your steps there. Like,
He's like,
you're
I knew
about
I needed to make a change
to
because
go.
I said, if I do this again, it's not going to be pretty. So we're going to stop. But yeah, when I seen that, I was like, damn, they drank a lot of soda. Like that shit was crazy to me. But I'm like I said, in a respectful way, I'm just a bit confused. And I think it has something to do with like, I think there's a thin line between traditional Mormons and like the new age ones. Because it's like maybe some rules some people follow, and then some people
It's
are
like with
like,
Christianity,
yeah,
like some people are like church every Sunday, everything is a sin, you know, I
yeah,
follow it strictly.
you
And
lay
then
with
there
a
are some
man
people
that's
that are like,
fornicate.
I'm just homophobic. Like, that's it. Like,
Yeah, God
which
say
one are you
that you can't do
following?
that, but it's like the whole time they're cheating on their wives with like
Exactly.
18 different women.
Exactly. And I'm one man. So when we get to Vegas, what did you think about that trip? Like, what's in your notes? What else is in your notes?
For the Vegas trip, that's the only part that I really took from that. Just the whole gambling thing. I was like, I don't understand why people are freaking out so much about this. Like, I mean, I understood that obviously she doesn't want that for her husband. Like, that's her discretion. But everybody else, it's like I just didn't understand that why that was like.
Well, it's because did you pay attention to the part like where when they were explaining that basically he's a gambling addict and he had
Oh
been
no.
given some. Yeah, okay. So the tea
Yep.
is because I know that you watched the whole. When you watch a whole bunch, like I did and like you did, when you're watching it back to back, even though it's very engaging, sometimes you have to
Yeah, you're
like
gonna
pop,
miss.
like
Yeah.
you're gonna be on your phone and stuff like that. So what happened is it's not just that gambling is like a sin or whatever. It's the fact that Zach has a problem with it to the point where they had given him some money to help with, I think he's in like medical school or whatever, that
Okay.
his parents had given him some money to help and he gambled that shit away.
Okay, so okay, I get why they're mad. I get why they're upset.
And then on top of that, it's just the way that he acted a whole ass and literally wanted to end their marriage because
Mhm.
she went to Magic Mike and stood in the corner.
Yeah. Okay. And it's also another thing was Taylor and finding out more stuff about Dakota. Like that, I was just like, okay.
I'm like,
I
why
kind
is
of
she
feel
going to Vegas
bad.
in the first place
Yeah.
when she's this pregnant and also you're with an addict and like you guys aren't you guys need to be preparing for this fucking baby. That's all I'm thinking.
But she's like, if he cheated on me, I don't care that I'm having this baby. And I was like, well, girl, good, hang in there, baby. Like, good luck, Charlie, because you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that support. Like, and then on top of that, another thing that I felt was, I'm like, okay, if this is before the baby, then fair game. I honestly think that she should just be like, whatever. Whatever's done is done. Just don't do it again. Because your ass literally has a whole story. So it's like they kind of belong with each other in a sense. I do feel like he
That's
has
what I
sketchy
was having a
ways.
hard time understanding because even though let's just say it's not just before the baby, if it was before you guys decided that you were in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, if you are in that gray area, yeah, he lied to you and said that he was hanging with his homeboys, but really he was fucking the bitch. But at the same time, you guys weren't in a relationship, period.
Right.
So you keep hanging on to, if that happened, I'm done with you. But you guys weren't in a relationship and you have a baby on the way and you want to be with him clearly. Like, you beat his ass, you went to jail. Like, it's worth it. I'm saying that, like, you don't have to marry him. And I think that's his whole thing, is that he wanted to really like get married. But I'm just like, I don't see the whole big deal if he did hook up with the girl. I think her name is Jenna or some shit.
I was just like, I mean, hey,
like, there's worse
honestly,
things happening.
With being that pregnant, it's too late, babe. I would just be like, well, you might as well just cut
Don't
this shit
do it
off
again.
because you're about to have a fucking baby. And then, like, my whole thing, I would have been like, well, when this baby drop, can I get my lip? That's what I want to know. Like, you know,
hit the ground running.
when this
No,
baby
my
drop
name is
and I
Taylor
heal up a
Frankie
little bit,
Ball.
can I have my lick box just for like, you know, a few days or whatever?
I push present.
And I feel like if we can agree on that, I'll even marry you.
No, you are. This is why this is toxic Leo shit, you guys, here in the present right now. This is some toxic Leo shit.
I will even
Not
marry you.
only are you going to allow whatever to be whatever, but you will agree to marry him as long as you can get your lick back.
As long as I can get my lick back. And I know the way she talked about that swingers party, she had some good candidates. Like,
Oh
I know
yeah.
she did. So I know that it wouldn't be anything to get on her phone and do what she needs to do.
And not
Like,
only that, like, she's a fucking TikTok star.
yeah, like
And like,
you can pull
what do you
the
mean?
thing
Look
that
at
you can
you.
pull. Girl, book you a trip to Dominican Republic. Okay. That's how you do it. You get one of those villas and you go all out. Like,
But you literally go and you write that shit off on your taxes and you get
and they
you.
have the way they have the money to literally do all of this and come back home like it's
Exactly.
nothing
Like it's
and
nothing.
make some hamburger helper and be like, that was fun.
MomTok.
MomTok, who's ready to get back on, guys? And I'm like, maybe that's why damn, I keep forgetting her name. Whitney. Maybe that's why Whitney is like pissed off, because is she running out of money?
Yeah, because she thought that her leaving MomTok would crash
Because she's
MomTok
like, guys, we
and they
gotta
wouldn't
get
get any brand deals. At first, you were literally getting brand deals talking about literally vibrators and all this shit and all this shit. And then now, you leave MomTok. You thought they were going to chase behind your ass because because you were the dancer and you were organizing everything and you were, B.O.B. But they didn't give a fuck.
They
They're
didn't
still
care because
going
it's like
on
they're
and they're
fine.
still renting Airbnb. Not only that, they're also filming a show. But she wants to chase you while we literally have cameras chasing us. And Taylor Frankie
Nobody is
Paul is over
chasing.
here literally getting arrested, giving a storyline, being the most toxic shit is that Taylor and Dakota don't care where they are. If they're gonna argue, they're gonna argue.
And that's a very Leo thing too, because I can relate to that. I don't care. I don't care where I'm at where I am in church,
I can't do that.
in
I'm like
McDonald's. Like, I
later.
don't care. No,
They literally
because
went over
wherever you
to
ask for it, that's where you're gonna get it. And
Dwayne
that's one
Zach's
thing my
house.
mama always taught me. Like, when I
Mm-hmm.
showed my ass, it didn't matter where I was. You're gonna get it there because that's where you ask for it. That's where you're gonna get it. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Like, it's meant for you. And I respect that. I respect that about them. And I hope that they get married. I want season 2 to literally be a wedding special. I hope that they get
I
married.
hate you so
I would
much. You're
marry him.
so toxic. I know you would, and I know you mean that.
Because we're just as you cheated on. Okay, I cheated first. And then, like, I did some weird swinger shit and it got out of hand. And somebody was
Well,
like,
she
I got.
wasn't with him.
Yeah, but still, like you broke up a home, girl.
She met him after all that,
That's
so
a
it doesn't
home
count.
that you broke up. And wasn't she with somebody?
Well, yeah, she was married.
Yeah, she was married. And then it's like you went to a swingers party and you started the shit got a little bit too hot. And then and I want to say she kind of caught feelings too. But I guess we're not talking about that. Cause she just said that he caught feelings. But I'm like, well, did you not?
She caught feelings for another guy, and they had mutual
Oh,
feelings because they were swinging with multiple couples.
but see, that's the thing. So it's like knowing that's who I am, and I meet somebody that did it, that like is kind of similar, I'm gonna be like, well,
Well, he wasn't even
I
swinging. He's
yeah,
just
it
a
was
regular
just
guy that's an
cheating.
addict.
But I'm like, well, you had your fun.
Just don't do that shit again.
Yeah, just don't do that shit again. And let me get my lick bop. Like that's all I ask.
What else did you want to say about the show? Like, what else is in your notes?
Um, that's let me see. Let me double check, but I believe that's it. Um,
What did you feel about Jen having to leave MomTok because of Zach's forceful, controlling, insane ass?
I felt like it's kind of necessary though. It's like you can't be in a group because this is the situation that you're in. She would have to remove herself from that situation if she wants to be in MomTok. Because all these other women shouldn't have to deal with what you're dealing with in your household because he doesn't allow you to do this and he doesn't allow you to do that. And then on top of that, this man has a gambling problem, like you said. So it's like you got a lot of shit going on.
The problem with that though is that she's the breadwinner.
Yeah, but it's like I'm looking at her like this is your fault because you let a man play with your money like that, taking it to the casino
I, she was like, "I'm gonna give you $2,500."
to gamble. Like I could understand if she was like, "I'll give you $50 and you better win me like 300 back." And if you do, don't come home. Like, had she said that, like, I was like, okay.
Like, put some
But
in it.
yeah, like,
Like,
I'm gonna give you
I'm gonna give you twenty
two.
five hundred dollars to go to the casino, do what you want to do, and then cuss me out, call me a bad mom and a whore, and make me leave MomTok. Like,
If you're gonna lose the money,
I
at
wish you
least
would.
bring me Popeyes. Like at the very least, get like that
Minimal.
toucan Don meal, and then bring that home and be
What
like,
comes
my
with that?
bad, baby. It's like 5 pieces of chicken and two sides and two biscuits, three biscuits, and a large Coke.
What? That is so random. What? Oh, I don't even
And
have time to break down the
it's in
meal.
coupons if you want it, and it's $12.99.
I can't use coupons delivery, but thanks.
No, you can.
What? We'll talk. So what else was in your notes?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I had.
What do we want to see? Look, okay, do we want to see Whitney in season 2?
Um, yeah, I do because I feel like I said, her story's not done. It's gonna be some more shit. And it's gonna get real good. Like it's gonna get real, real good. But I also want to see her kind of like her redemption story.
Her less annoying story.
Because I feel like when that baby drops, Taylor is gonna like pick up her position, um, as Queen Bee and kind of run it again. And then she's gonna be on the outs. That's how I feel like it's gonna end up. And she's gonna have to like kind of kiss Taylor's ass to get back in. So I want to see her because I do believe she's gonna be the underdog and she's gonna have to like face a lot of stuff. Maybe she'll even surprise us and divorce her husband.
She needs to. I love how Connor was like the tea bearer of the Vegas trip. Like he
Mhm.
had that story down.
What did you think about the TikToks that Whitney and her husband did together? Was that them?
Oh, you mean her being RSV mom, where she fucking dances while her child can't breathe in the hospital? I think that is insane that she feels that. I feel like it's insane that she feels that Taylor is getting more, sympathy or getting forgiven faster than she is, where it's like, this was all adults involved in their marriage. You danced in front of your baby who's in the hospital. Stop.
It's not. You guys gotta know when to stop. You guys gotta know when to stop. And I think that should be the limit.
It's crazy.
Like, I won't be surprised if that baby didn't rise up and be like, Mom, cut the fucking phone off. Like, I could see that. Enough. Cut the fucking phone up. Give me the phone. Go get the doctor and tell him to like fucking lubricate my eyes.
Like, go get Joe DiMaggio immediately.
And she needs it because it's like this whole time, like, that baby is gonna grow up like, I remember what you did.
That's a core memory. If you guys ever watch Inside Out, that's going to be a core memory. I'm literally imagine.
I remember what you
at
did.
my big age, like I would still every time we would argue, I'd be like, hey, and especially because like we have video evidence of it.
You were doing TikToks while I was like in the hospital, like going through it. Are you
and my
okay?
dad was on Tinder.
That might be his first word, the baby's first word.
That was a good show. I did not think it was going to be as good as it was. I could not stop threading about it. I could not stop posting about it on Instagram. There are so many theories about the fruit. Okay, the Fruity Pebbles theory. What do you think it was? Because she already said that it wasn't about just taste. It wasn't that she tasted like Fruity Pebbles. So
no.
what do you think happened?
I think maybe in some kind of world he probably mixed the Fruity Pebbles with like frosting and put it in her ass, and he probably ate her ass. The Fruity Pebbles it's like this whole picture that's going around on TikTok too about women putting frost and men too. They put frosting on their ass, and then it's like, eat my ass. So it's like, if it's Fruity Pebbles, then why not too? I just don't understand how that would stick. Like, how does that stick?
If it was frosting,
yeah,
but if it was a frosty, no. Frosting, it works like because when frosting gets dry, it's kind of like a binding agent. So frosting,
unless he like
hold
took a bowl
pebbles.
and just poured it and just like.
Just let us know what it is, Demi. If you hear it, like, it's not because I'm judging you. It's because I want to try it, maybe.
Like, I don't want her to get in trouble, though. That's her thing. If you feel like you can't tell it, then don't tell it.
Well, I'm not Whitney, though.
Hold it to the grave.
Me about it, I wouldn't,
Yeah, but she can't trust nobody now. Because she absolutely broke that.
Who are your top three?
Top three, Taylor.
Yeah.
Demi.
Yeah.
And
my top three is Taylor, Demi, and Jesse.
Dakota.
That wasn't okay. That's fair because he's fine, so you can get away with it.
I like Dakota. I don't have a problem with him, honestly. Like, I want to see him back for sure.
Yeah, no, I feel like
if he don't come back, I don't know.
Taylor therapy or some shit. I think they're actually together. Like, they're trying to work it out.
Do marriage boot camp with Judge Lynn Toler. Like, I would love to see that.
Screaming.
Even though, but what I really want to ask before we get off, how did you feel about that Teen Mom finale?
I watched the Teen Mom finale. I thought it was great TV. Even though I did not see the season, I felt like through you, I saw the season. Through your eyes, and I knew what was going on, and all the stories are wrapping up. Mackenzie got proposed to.
And how did you feel about that? Wasn't that weird?
I feel like even like on the beach, like with the family, and then the guy, it's just like he's like the Jamaican jellyfish from Shark Tales, and the guy is like Mater from Cars. It just does not mix.
Oh, you're talking about her dad?
That's her dad. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, marry my daughter. He's like, yeah, you can marry her. Shit, why not? And the guy's like,
sorry.
And the guy's like, what do I do? Extra gravy from your rights to marry your daughter. And then he fucking marries her. But it just doesn't seem legit. I don't see the chemistry. I don't feel the chemistry. It's just like, why are you in such a rush? Like, slow down. Slow down. What's the rush?
Yeah.
Then Amber's fucking new Gary, disappears off the face of the fucking earth. And they literally label him as a missing person, and she's freaking the fuck out. Macy goes over TMZ. There. Yeah, calls TMZ. Macy goes over there to like check on Amber, and then the next day she gets like a call, and they're like, "Hey, we found him," and he's like, "I'm okay." So we're gonna have to take him off the missing persons list. And the thing with those people is I actually heard multiple stories about them. Like they will not tell you because legally they don't have to, like where that person is or what's going on.
He's an adult.
And they're just like he's found. And it's like, well, damn, did you ask him why the fuck he just disappeared on my ass?
They don't give a fuck. Like, it's not their issue, babe.
Like, I would ask if I was like, if I found somebody, I would be like, hey, like, this is gonna be on the new season of Teen Mom, and you just fucking left. What for?
So, do you think it was because his family saw the Wikipedia page?
Hell no.
So why do you think that he left?
Because they've been seeing that. He's seen that shit. He knew how she was before he got with her. It's not a secret. All you gotta do is look on YouTube. You don't even have to go to Wikipedia. Just look up worst moments of Teen Mom. And you will see what everybody else has seen. Why do you
think that he disappeared?
He had another woman on the side, and he didn't want to be with her anymore. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a woman that's like successful and has money, because I feel like that's really what he was trying to do anyway. And he kind of felt like Amber had that new house, which she did, and that was a nice house, Amber. And he was just like, I'm gonna just ride this gravy train out because I know that you are not you're gonna stay on the show. But a lot of people are also saying that this needs to be Amber's last season, which I agree, because I think she needs to go to therapy. She's focused on the wrong thing. Clearly.
Well, even when she went to therapy, she was like trauma dumping on the driver. She's like, this man broke me. And I'm like,
not even before she gets in the therapy session, she's about to have a panic attack. She's like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, I'm fucking done.
In a way, like I understood. Because imagine you thinking someone is dead for 3 days and the internet is saying that you killed him.
It's a lie.
He just pops back up and then he just wants nothing to do with you.
But then she kicks down the fucking therapist's door and she's like, this shit is like, it's too much.
I need help. Like,
and he's like, what is
he's like, sit down.
Like, sit down and tell me what's going on. But her focus is on the wrong thing. Even her daughter's like, I really don't give a fuck about this. Like, please don't tell me about it. I don't want to know about it. And I kind of feel like I did hear some reports and I did hear things like even on the show that alluded to the fact that she just does not want to communicate with her mom anymore.
I understand that.
And a lot of people are like, well, you know, well, not a lot of people. Amber and some people feel that it is Gary's responsibility to ensure that Leah has a relationship with Amber, but I really feel like that's Amber's fault that she ruined that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
kids grow up to be teens, and teens are almost young adults, so they see what's
Correct.
going on. So it is what it is.
But aside from that, the other thing is Janelle is back, and I love seeing that. Unfortunately, Kaiser wasn't able to see Nathan. They moved out of that house finally. They moved into a new house that's really nice. And Janelle just seems so much mature. That's the goal. That's what I wanted to say. I'm really liking the storyline with Janelle. I feel like we're seeing like a more mature adult side of her. She's carrying herself better. It seems like she's more emotionally available for her kids, which I do like. And I would like, if Amber is to leave, I would like for Janelle to come back full time and just replace her, because I feel like we're getting a good story, and I do want to see Kaiser reunite with Nathan again. Uh, I also want Kale back. Like, I know she's doing her podcast, and I know she has her podcast network, and she making bank from that. But Kale, please come back. Uh, Another thing, Ashley and her new man. Love to see it.
I wasn't even worried about that. I was worried about that fucking 911 call
That
that her mom
911.
made.
A fact is that not even a fun. I won't call it fun, but the fact is they had to reenact that. So that wasn't even
Because I
the
remember I was
actual.
waiting for her to say she's a celebrity. Because I'm like, wait, hold on. I remember
Yeah,
talking about this specifically.
they reenacted that. So that was a whole thing, which I'm like, I don't think they needed to do that. They could have just did the
No,
black screen. Dr. Drew, girl. Like, let those people.
that was crazy.
Yeah, that was weird. But I like the fact that she's with her new man. I don't want Bar in jail forever, like T said, but I definitely don't. I
That
just
was
don't want them
fair.
together. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I just don't want him to get out of jail. But I just don't want them to be together. I want them to be able to co-parent and raise Holly in a healthy environment. And I also want Ashley to just be happy, because you could genuinely tell she's moving forward in a good direction. So I love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and who
I think
else?
that's it, child.
That's really it. Because Leah hasn't really been doing shit like that.
Yeah, I
Love
don't think they
Leah,
showed her.
but she
I
hasn't really
don't
been
know
doing
her.
nothing. Brianna hasn't. Now that Roxanne is back, Brianna's not really doing shit.
They didn't show them.
So it is what it is. That's Team Mom, guys.
Well, that's Team Mom. That is
Oh,
the what?
and Caitlin and Tyler, please leave that girl alone. Like, I know that's your child, but you have to understand that those people already adopted that girl, and that is now their daughter. So yes, they do feel away. They might be trashing y'all in the tabloids, which I do understand that that's kind of sad and depressing. But at the same time, just please stop talking about this every year.
And that's that.
That's that.
Well, okay. We don't usually do pot stirs for the pop culture episode, but I do want to ask for the pot stir. Let us know what your soda mix would be, so we can try that.
And are you Team Taylor or are you Team Whitney? That's what I would also like to know.
Exactly.
Did you watch the Teen Mom finale?
Exactly. And your thoughts on that? And we will be back with our regular things that we watch next week. We just had to get all this off of our chests. And obviously we'll be back on Saturday for the Bravo episode, which we will be talking about Salt Lake City because we got the screener for it. So we will be watching it, talking about it, and we can't wait to discuss it with you guys. Love y'all. Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.